Happy New Year, everybody. 2022 is finally here, and I couldn't be more excited. Last year was filled with interesting surprises, PRs left and right, but most importantly, evolving the natural community. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling extremely hopeful. Positive thoughts all the way. I know we're moving in the right direction. I can see it across various other channels that are preaching the same message and in the comments section. It's never been this tight before. And I'm honestly so proud of you guys that we're setting the bar higher, not falling for bullshit, and just not being put down anymore while seeking higher quality information. Like, this is the time to shine. We're going to make this an even better year. Prepare for significant changes in personal growth, even if external factors aren't favorable. Because even though a lot of us are going through some things, the world isn't quite back to normal yet. That doesn't change the decisions that we get to make. Get educated and train without excuses. Just because your friend quit lifting doesn't mean you have to. Just because you're not motivated doesn't mean you can't set higher goals for yourself. This is a long-term game. Discipline must be the driving force. It's important to keep yourself in check and not settle for less. And that's what I'm going to do this year. No more laziness for anything. So how about you give me your goals in the comment section and I'll provide mine so we can all keep each other accountable. Let's freaking do it. So let's cover my fitness goals. As you know, last year I got a 405 bench, 225 OHP, 4-plate pull-up, and even got shredded all in the same year. It was honestly one of my most productive years yet, comparable to 2016 in terms of like massive gains all the way through. And I have a feeling that this year is going to be even more of what you saw, because we're going hard on something that I've been lazy on for years. The lower body. Oh yeah, this is going to be a lower body heavy year. My first goal is to exceed my previous leg size, which was 26 inches. Let's go above that. 26.5. I don't need 27, and even then, this is fucking huge for a guy my height. So basically, it's time for me to focus more on the quads, which have been lagging for years compared to my posterior chain. Not that they're weak or small by any stretch of the imagination, but from a ratio standpoint, I really practiced what I preached. It was all about the glutes and hamstrings, and if I'm being honest, I'd still say I'm not a fan of tree trunk legs. But it doesn't matter. Still gonna go for it. Let's get some all-time PRs. And for that, I like to push my squat up higher. Something that you guys have never seen me do on this channel. Now keep in mind, I'm severely detrained in this movement. I've probably been the laziest natty fitness influencer of all time regarding squat training. And not because of any physical limitations, I'm actually built to squat. My leverages are better for squats than the bench press. You can see that in my demonstration videos. My torso is very upright, and no matter how I do it, wide stance, close, low bar, high bar, every position suits my anthropometry. So might as well take advantage of that. And for that, I'm going to select a 500-pound squat to be the goal, though I'll also be honest in saying I don't care about that. To me, it's really a side effect of getting bigger legs as a whole, and it might not even happen this year. Maybe 4.5 plates is more realistic. I honestly have no clue at this point. I haven't given myself enough time to know my potential. And to build it up, I'll of course be showing all that in workout videos, which will primarily consist of max effort squats, rotating all the possible variations with the SSB, the straight bar off a box, chains, not as much band, and smashing accessories hard like belt squats, good mornings, ladder work, etc. Can't have weak links, and the lower back plus hips need to be factored in as well, because an injury will set you back. Therefore, preventing overuse injuries is at the top of this list. Anyway, that's all there is for squats. Now I want to talk about the real main goal for lower body performance. Getting a 600-pound deadlift, which should be fairly doable since I've already pulled 565 with ease. And that wasn't even in a peak state. So, my pulling position of choice will likely be sumo, because it's better suited for anthropometry. I've come to realize over the years, conventional does not agree with this build. I am completely bent forward like a Penley row, can't get the leg drive I want, and in general, they have always fell off. So if I'm trying to display my best pulling performance as a 1 rep max, why would I choose the least favorable style for me? Doesn't make sense. Now, it doesn't mean I won't train it as a max effort movement or just throwing it once a blue moon into the program, but I'd much rather emphasize Romanian deadlifts, which is a pure hip hinge that involves the exact same muscles as a conventional deadlift. I can get those maximally jacked. The carryover is still brutally high. It's better on recovery, superior stimulus fatigue ratio in general, and I have serious goals for that as well. So it's not just shooting for a bigger 1 rep max. I would like to pull 500 pounds for 10 reps on the RDL, which is a psychotic goal. Might not happen this year. So perhaps it's more realistic to say 4.5 plates for 10. I really want to do that, which is also going to be great for hypertrophy. And the final deadlift goal will be surpassing my 700 trap bar. Now, I can't really overload it that much more. It would have to be with chains. So perhaps turning my 1 rep max into my 3 to 5 rep max is better. So 700 pounds for 5 reps. How insane would that be? Let's see what happens. Just gonna keep working on this yoke, getting the lower body thicker. And with that said, let's now talk about upper body goals. As you know, I benched 4 plates and I was debating whether or not I should go maintenance mode for a little bit because I was burnt out. It was a long grind. I started chasing that in 2017 and you've seen the consistency over the years. So when I finally got it, I was like, wow, this is great, but now I need to lay low for a bit. Now, after thoroughly thinking things through, I realized I am ready for some more gains. Might as well because we're still gonna train hard. The only difference now is I won't be maxing out twice a week. But everything else is exactly the same, and I could see muscle memory kicking in really fast. Maybe within 2 months, I'll already be back to a close to 405 bench. And at that point, if I'm matching all my rep PRs, why in the world would I maintain? Because I will be in a calorie surplus gaining weight. Bear mode might happen again, just to say, I don't care about maintaining the leanest state. Getting shredded actually confirmed that to me as well. So I'll be in a surplus. I'm pushing myself on everything. Why not try to get more records on the bench? Just to say, when I got 275 for 3x10 on the Swiss bar, that equated to 405. So if I get that again, well, I know I'm back at it. So might as well try to get 295 or 315 for 3x10. What would that equate to? A 420 bench? No clue. And in general, I feel like there was more potential because my progress never slowed down. There were 0 plateaus and I kept getting stronger. I mentally stopped myself at 4 plates because that's the big number. And some people even suspect that I could have gone 410 that day. But I'm not going to claim that. Point is, I'm capable of more. So I'm going to embrace that. Keep training hard and not be content with arbitrary numbers because we set our own limitations. So I can't say I have any specific strength goals beside that for now. I can say 200-pound pull-up, but that's not really on my radar right now. I would just say the bench, we can get a little bit more gains in there. But for size, I do have an objective of finally hitting the legendary 17-inch mark. Now, some of you already have that, and you lift a lot less than me, but keep in mind, our genetics are all different. Arms are extremely stubborn for me. When I benched 4 plates, they were 16.5 inches, cold flex, which, by the way, is big for a guy my height. I'm only 5'5.5", so 17 on a short dude is not the same as 17 on a guy who's 6 feet. Please keep that in mind. I want to keep working towards that goal no matter what. I will never give up on getting 17-inch arms naturally. This is my #1 size objective above all else. For that, it's going to be doing a lot of direct tricep work. And of course, emphasizing the biceps through curls. I got the 4-plate pull-up. My biceps didn't improve as much as some of the elitists claimed. And I already knew that was going to happen. So when your biceps are really stubborn, the compound movements are not enough. Obviously, keep training them. You will get much bigger biceps with a stronger weighted chin. But the #1 way is emphasizing isolation work. That's what I'm going to do. Get these curls really freaking strong. If I'm doing 3 sets of 10 with 135 pounds, that's going to be insane. Or just getting close to it, like 115 pounds. That shouldn't be impossible. So for upper body, I just want bigger biceps and triceps. Everything else, the size will follow. So being jacked as a whole is still extremely important to me, but I want to hyper focus on my weak point. And that's going to be different for every person. Maybe you got massive arms, but no back. Doesn't mean you're going to stop training your arms, just that they won't be prioritized as much. Same thing here. Still want to get swole everywhere. Put on another 2 pounds of muscle at the end of the year. That's 2022. And I hope we all stick to these goals that we set. Most importantly, ensure they're truly our own. If you're doing this for somebody else, you'll probably quit halfway through. Or you'll eventually realize that you made a mistake. I don't want that happening to you. You have to want it. All right, let's keep moving forward. Never stagnate. And with that said, I'm done talking for today. Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best of gains.